So now I was back doing my own thing between chilling with old friends on park, running amok uptown, painting the town red with my cousin, and child, we were inseparable for a good while and causing chaos. Back to the block, moving and shaking with Jack Oswald White over there. As a matter of fact, we gonna call him Joker. Facts. I was completely unhinged, a party animal to the core. So much so, if my cousin left me alone for a second, I would walk in a random house party like I was invited. I had my driver, and because of Joker, I now had a couple more. So you can't really tell me nothing. I felt hood rich, had little to no money management skills though. Just living my life like I wanted to live it. I had enjoyed getting my hair done consistently. Then my nails became more of a consistent thing because I would style myself or wear certain colors based on my moods, of course. Definitely getting back into that. Thank God. I honestly cared about that more than clothes after a while too. Due to my wild life, I would throw me on a cute dress or some leggings and a shirt and hit the town. But as life got tougher, so did I. So mostly wolf mode with my jeans and sweats and sweatsuits. I was good to go. And of course, I was still living like a gypsy, renting out hotels and turned up every night. By this time, I had me some sugar daddies with the good cars that owned properties and would take me where I wanted, giving me money when I wanted. But something about being a product of your own environment can truly make you your own worst enemy. While I should have been learning how to get on their level, I was so far gone and spoiled, still drinking excessively. I just wanted quick cash to continue to enjoy my young wild life. I was so bad, y'all. I remember one time I was so tossed and had met this trick who kept trying to pursue me all night while uptown partying, and everything was good until he didn't know when to stop drinking, and I was lit, so that says a lot. I finally gave in because it didn't seem like a hard job at all at this point, and it wasn't. He went from licks to biz to me trying to stop him from getting more licks at the store because I was more so tired of moving around too. And he was looking quite unstable. Now, I was on a mission, but damn, bro, pipe down. So now we went back to the spot and your boy was talking to me and then started crying at me, apologizing to me because he was so tossed and grieving the separation of his wife. Now, he wasn't apologizing to me for being emotional. Y'all, he started talking to me like I was his wife. So y'all will never believe I started crying too. God forgive me, this is not funny. This is when I realized all those school plays had paid off, okay? I was in full-blown actress mode because the mission remained the same, as I always say. Now for different reasons, but it remained the same. So I'm fake crying, talking about, you don't want me, you love her, go be with her, you just want to use me. Boy, why he started crying harder? Like, no, I'm sorry, just bawling, crying at me. Oh my goodness. To top it all off, this man went from crying to throwing up and pooping. It was just too much. I could not take it anymore. So I went downstairs to go get this man a ginger ale. I guess I had become a product of my environment for real, huh? Remember that story? And he was over there knocked the man down, okay? So I took it as a job well done in my eyes. The baby down, I got the candy, and I hauled ass. Now I told y'all, you gotta know how to stick and move, okay? And being that there was way too much going on uptown, I did not stay up there. So I ended up going back to Joker, who I began to realize had a lack of stability as far as housing goes as well. And he managed to keep him some money to pay others for his time spent though. So he was helping me to flip my bread too by investing in his business. So of course I stuck around with my crazy self like, okay, Harleen Quinzel, two troubled hearts, just surviving the best way we knew how. But I was so naive then. Oh my goodness. For a good while too. I knew he had love for me, but I didn't know he actually did love me. Due to our lifestyles, mindsets, and my transparency, he could only love me the best way he saw fit, which was basically provision in all aspects, but he was still trying to be emotionally unavailable and still, do him and, I guess keep his mind occupied. But things were changing though, and he started to try and show up in ways outside of the norm. He was showing he was hurt when I would share my stories of my wild escapades and wanting to know my favorite foods and things I like to do, started introducing me to his people, and eventually I started becoming cool with many of them. So much so that now I done caught myself playing house and gypsy with him. Baby, I was back and forth in between these buildings with this man on Wash, closer up like to the rough. That's what we call it in the 1400s. So now I done lived in my third building on Wash at this point. I'm literally from all of Mauritania. But anyways, from my good sis crib to Kiki's, God bless her soul, she had to come to her health issues eventually. So it was a lot going on with that too. And we ended up moving over to the west side. Now, he had already had people over there, and that's how he had found the spot. So when we got there, it actually felt like home base, like regular stomping grounds. I was in my zone, I was in my element, but still very much aware that this was new territory. So I stayed on my P's and Q's, you know? But he had introduced me to his people who were basically like the neighbors, and that made me feel a little better too. And they introduced me to a couple of their people who were also like neighbors and family, you know? So we was cool. We was locked in. We would chill often. You know, they would pull up and I would go over. It was cool. Now, at this particular time, I was actually out of work and still indulging in my side hustles and gigs, of course, to bring in the bread, which was going pretty well. And now he was the one who was going to work, and that was helping with the bills and, you know, bringing in the bread. So I actually was more so holding down the fort. Now, we were still in that unspoken relationship phase because he still wanted to stand on his 10 with the emotional unavailability. You know, I could still see what it was, but he wanted to say what it ain't, and that's how I took it. But we were very much partners in crime, and we did it very well, okay? We took care of each other and made sure that we held each other down very, very well. So I stuck around for a little while. And eventually, right, there was a lady who actually tried to mess up a good situation, all right, back at home base. And I ended up having to go handle that, which actually led to us having a little more stability as far as our stuff goes. So that was good too. And at this point, it was just kind of like I was making noise I didn't know that I was making because, like I said, I wasn't really acquainted with nobody outside, but I wasn't tone deaf either. So eventually it got to a point where this girl and this guy ended up pulling up acting like they was coming to visit the dude who we had got the room from. And the girl, you know, she had said she did Santeria, so she was reading the house and stuff like that. And, you know, because he had new energy there, so he had asked for a reading. But when they had got there, I was in there chilling, minding my business, listening to Kevin Gates and shadow boxing. And I had some steak, rice, and beans going on on the stove. So I'm looking at them like, good, y'all hungry, you know, like it was regular time. And then I guess they was kind of flabbergasted because I could read too. I just don't practice that, you know, but I could read too. And I could tell that the energy that old boy thought that he probably would have had to come with, definitely it didn't give that at all. He was more so, honestly, from what I could see, he was more so shocked and attracted, which I definitely read that well. But it was still platonic. I held that down and everything was going good. He was cool too. Found out he did music and everything, and that was dope, you know, but I had to stay in my 10. Now, that was until things started going wrong, because maybe your boy Joker trusted me to hold down the fort a little bit too much because of the things he's seen and the things I've done and how it was going. Ah, man. So now there was a situation where we had set up he had set up what the dude thought was going to be a call girl pulling up, you know? And so I gave that. I had to play my part, 3 stacks. And honestly speaking, we already know what this is. I'm juxing. Now, it was crazy because come to find out the dude was like, he was a substance abuser and the hard stuff too. But it was like he had just ran into some good bread. So he was ready to splurge it. And it's so crazy because when I got there, when I tell y'all, I was literally playing my role. I remember the music was going. It was some music videos going on the TV. And Beyonce came on and saved the day. And I was over there dancing. And he was just like, also mesmerized. He was also fried out his mind. Big bean, okay? And he just started tossing the bread at me. And I ended up coming out of there with more than we even expected. But This is where I get teed off because I got saved by the bell, thankfully, before he could really start to like try to play in my face too close, because he was starting to get there. And I was just like, think fast, think fast. His phone rings. I don't know what it is about these married men, but yeah, y'all got to do better. But like I said, he was also a substance abuser, but that's still no excuse, okay? Because you're still married. Now, his wife calls, and this man goes to the bathroom and starts like getting into it with her, and the man starts crying and stuff like that. Like, I could hear him having a moment. He has a bag laying by the dresser near the TV, and I look and I see there's more bread, but I also see this man got the grip in there. So I'm like, damn. Soon as I noticed that, y'all, he also, besides all the bread that he already done threw at me, and I done got that, okay? It was more money laying on the nightstand, more money in the bag, and my mind wanted to be greedy for a minute, but everything in me told me, don't do that. And the moment that I said that to myself, well, the moment that intuition came, the door opened and he came out the bathroom, and he was actually teary-eyed, just like the other man. So now I'm just like, oh, shit. How you gonna play this one? And I just asked him, like, hey, like, you want me to go get some strawberries or something from the store? Like, I know the area and things. Like, you don't have to. And he actually trusted me to go get the strawberries and bring my ass back. Baby, I walked down the hall like nothing. When I got out the building, I hauled ass. I got more bread than I expected. I'm out of here. I got me a few bands. I'm gone. You hear me? I'm not coming back here for what? So I was out of there. And he had more than enough to go and do it again and actually be successful with somebody else. Everybody wins, okay? At least I ain't take more, all right? But yeah, I was really mad because I saw that was in the bag. And it's like, bro, you ended up going all the way back to the block and left me to fend for myself, knowing I got something on me, but I ain't have that. That was home. I didn't come here for that. You feel me? You were supposed to be on standby for that. Just in case. Like, that was crazy. So I really felt the way. So now, even though we on our Harley and Joker, I feel a kind of way because I keep ended up in these situations where I'm pretty much in lone wolf mode. You hear me? Like, I'm holding down the fort. I'm going and handling, like, bro, you leaving me for dead? Like, trusting I'm coming out? Yeah, I'm coming out all the time. Like, what's wrong with you? But why would you leave me like that? So now I definitely feel a lack of safety again. And y'all already know how I feel with that. You're not going to get to see me twice now because now, yeah. But, stood my 10 and ended up becoming more acquainted with the people around the way too, because I was maneuvering more around the block and I was going to the stores more and stuff like that, So eventually, my dumb ass... Here we go again. I ended up talking to old boy that was doing the music eventually. And what was that for? Because shit got real.